How's it going, everybody? I'm Dr. John Clayton here at SUPRA Chiropractic. In today's video, we have a special guest who is Heavy D, or some people know him as Dave Sparks. And with this video, I love to show stuff like this because a lot of people say, oh, you know, what's so different about anybody? Well, in particular, Heavy D is a big guy. And so when we work on big guys, you got to throw them around a little bit. So we're going to do that. We're going to throw Heavy D around a little bit. We're going to put some needles in the spine, in the chest, really work on a few different areas. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll do a recap at the end where I kind of explain when we went through these areas, some of the things to be careful of, but also why we're going through and doing this and why most patients will ask for stuff like this and why it's beneficial. So hope you guys enjoy this video, and we'll catch you at the end. Yeah, a lot of times when I get people that have really tight glutes, is they'll have that radiating go down the hamstring there, and
I never get it down the leg.
Yeah, which is good. Like, that means your glutes aren't tight enough yet.
Yeah.
Right, and it's the ones that get so tight that they wrap around the sciatic nerve, and just those people go to the hospital, and the hospital's like, dude, I can't do anything for you.
And they're just in miserable pain.
And then we go in and do the needles and stuff, and it's good, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, those people,
Can you do something for plantar fasciitis?
Yeah, I needle it. It's intense. I'll show you pictures of it that I've done.
My mother-in-law's got really good. There's like so many people that I've got that are going to text you, just come get an appointment, but there's a handful I might just prepay their appointments and just send them in.
Yeah. No, I've it's intense, but I've had people that are like runners. They do like marathons. They train every day, right? And the dry needling has worked amazing. Like, I had one lady who came in. She actually lives by my parents, and she only had it on one foot, right? I think it was her left foot. And I dry needled it, and I was like, hey, it's gonna be intense. And she's like, this actually wasn't that bad. I've had kids. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so I went through and dry needled that foot, and she's never come back.
Wow.
And I'm like, hey, are you good? She's like, dude, I'm great.
Good.
And so it's like one session and done, right?
Awesome.
And so, like you saw last time, I can adjust the foot and stuff. That's great, but I've got to go a little bit deeper and use the needles to get into the plantar fascia, kind of break it up, put electricity through that, and then they're good, right?
Nice.
So,
But actually, one of my business dreams, goals that I've had for a long time is opening my own little kind of boutique wellness center. Having somewhere where I've just got kind of a conglomerate of providers and, you know, like people that are really good at what they do, people like you.
yeah.
And just like be known as like the spot where people go to get like the most elite level of wellness. Everything from like a salt sauna to cold plunges, and just all kind of the fringe wellness techniques. But then also, like I said, staffing it with the best of the best. So
Just don't use insurance.
yeah, no, I wouldn't. I would want it to be cash pay, like kind of targeting a kind of the Park City type crowd. People that like
Yeah, they fly in,
they
snowbirds.
don't ask what the price is. They just they go because you've got answers to their problems.
Well, honestly, if you have connections to Park City, places like that, where it's like, hey, you can come in, here's places you can rent, Airbnbs, places you own, why not,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
You'll have people come from all around the world. But that's honestly like what YouTube does too, is when people see stuff like what we do, they are like, I want to go to Utah now, I want to do this, right? And then they come check it out because they see how cool it is on our cameras, you know?
Exactly.
So there's just that QL right here. And then I'm going to go just kind of deep spinal real quick here for you. It's going to be a little bit intense. Okay. This is the one that kind of just sucks a little bit, sorry. Yeah, I always tell people you can get so deep with like your elbows,
Right.
but I've got to go like 5 times deeper with needles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think having some kind of a medical practice that can do that, or even just something that has a bit of everything.
I want somewhere that does energy work, does like kind of some of the voodoo stuff that people have never heard of.
Mm-hmm.
Because all these fringe things that I've tried out that, people haven't heard of, most of them I can swear by, like they've helped me in some way or another, but you just can't find those anywhere. So
No.
the goal would be to put it all under the same roof and just kind of normalize the fringe, as I guess the best way to put it, like those practices and stuff that you just can't find anywhere else. And if you do, you find one guy who does this, and then you gotta go to another state to find somebody who does that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one I think too, just a lot of those techniques and areas of treatment, or you could say medicine or healing, right? A lot of those people don't really communicate what they are, or it's hard to, right? And so like when someone's like, hey, I'm gonna go get some energy work done, they're like, explain what that is, and like, I don't know.
But that's why it makes sense for a guy like me to do it, because I'm relatable to a lot of people like that would never know where to even start with this, like my blue collar audience.
Mm-hmm.
If I go out there and normalize, like, hey, I have, let's say I'm trying to build this place like publicly in front of people, like my audience. I would say these are things I've struggled with over the years, and I've gone to all these different people, and I've sifted through a handful of different techniques and practices that work, that are really hard to find, and I just wanted to make it more accessible to everybody. So people just get so invested in a story like that.
They do, yeah.
Where you're building something from the ground up, like on YouTube especially. Like any project or any new business venture that I do, I try to like document it on YouTube in a way where the viewers feel like they're starting it with me, like they're along for the ride, and they just get super invested. So I think at one point I may do that, and if you're still looking for a spot.
Yeah, seriously. Well, I've even wanted to, because of all the people that come in and say, hey, who else can do what you're doing? It's like, I wish there were more.
Yeah, exactly.
If there was an opportunity to train people to go and do that at a business like that, if I couldn't do it because of running my business, it's like, I would do that all day,
Just become kind of the master of it.
Yeah, it's just start educating people, because a lot of chiropractors will do that, honestly, is they'll go out and hold seminars where they teach people how to do what they do. And I mean, unfortunately, a lot of them that go out and attend the seminars are students in like a chiropractic school, right? If it's the chiropractic stuff, very rarely would you actually find a chiropractor who's seasoned, 10 plus years in practice, that's going to say, what can I learn from someone that's, young and, not been as practiced as I have, right? And so
Someone's just trying to do it differently than the standard model.
So, I mean, ultimately, I think when people see stuff like this, or even the results too, because that's ultimately what it comes down to, is the results speak for themselves. And it's usually the people, like you're saying, where you go tell all your family, you tell all your friends, and no one else can find that, right? That's the part for me where I'm like, I can tell you all day long, but it's like you literally telling those people, here's the results I got from this. Other people, they can argue all day long with you, but ultimately you're telling your success story, right? And I think there's a lot of power in that, where people do that on social media now. It's like, hey, like I did it for a while, where it's like someone would come in and get adjusted, and it's like they saw this much improvement, or the pain they had is completely gone, and it took one visit. Whereas majority of chiropractic, they're like, hey, I'm getting a care plan for a year, and I still saw little to no improvement. What are you doing differently?
Exactly.
And so I think ultimately there's a lot of ways to go about it, right? But I think that you said bringing in the most successful ones out there, or the ones that already get results under one roof, you can't go wrong. Yeah, even some of the cases I've seen, I have people that'll have really bad dental procedures, and then they develop it even becomes even like a vertigo type issue where they're dizzy, right?
Right.
Because the jaw is so close to your inner and middle ear that it changes everything for them. Like their quality of life goes so far downhill. I've even had one gal contact me because of YouTube, and just hearing about me. She had what's called Meniere's disease, right? And that's probably your worst case of vertigo out there. And to the point of she would be just walking, around her house, get a dizzy spell and just start throwing up, right? And so, and it's just uncontrollable, right? You never know what's going to hit you. And so it really just changes your quality of life. And so, but the hard part is it was, I think like 5 or 6 years ago, had a dental procedure. They put in this kind of like a dental dam or almost like a block to then hold her mouth open during the procedure, but didn't realize the damage it caused. And then that has led to these issues.
Just from having her mouth propped open?
Yeah, by something that was artificial, basically, right? And not just saying like, we're going to hold it open, or, we're going to put something in there and shove it in there to keep your mouth open during this procedure. So, cases like that where it's like, who else can work on this? It's like, there's very few.
Yeah, not a lot of jaw specialists.
So, but yeah, with the jaw, there's a lot of cases where I've seen it's like, yeah, let's realign stuff, but then let's go into all the different anatomy inside the mouth, the skull, and then if there is, if it's really bad where, let's say it broke something, that's like, okay, have you had imaging? What is your do you have dental x-rays, post, that procedure that she had, right?
Yeah.
So we want to look at all the information we have, but even just getting someone that actually feels the jaw. So I'm going to go through rib cage on you here, okay? Yep. Deep breath in here, all the way out. Let that relax there. Deep breath in here, all the way out. Let it go. Deep breath in here, all the way out. Deep breath in here, all the way out. And it's hard, you're like, how do I not tense up?
Yeah, exactly.
And like not fight you, but also let you like pop.
And I just got that lower back thing. I keep thinking it's gonna pop out.
Yeah, tweaks on you a little bit. Deep breath in here, all the way out. Yeah, but I can always show you too, like, just for reference, like if you have like one spinal level that's super tender, right? So I'll show this. Like I had one guy come in and he's like, hey man, I tweaked my back, adjusting it feels somewhat good. But I was like, let me use like 1 or 2 needles, right? And just go into that spot just so you feel what it feels like to hit the spinal level where those deep spinal stabilizer muscles hit. And even just doing that gave him like immense relief. Like he stood up and touched his toes. And then he's like, dude, I haven't done that in 10 years. Wow. And it's like just from going in and putting a needle into that area, no electricity, but just 1 or 2 needles, right? Game changer, right? So if we need to do that too, like when I feel here, so like your hips right here, kind of those SI joints, right? Mm-hmm. If I go right between those, there's L5, right? So probably tight there, right? Mm-hmm. But here, L4, pretty tight as well. Would you say L4 or L5 is more tight?
Can't tell.
This one here or this one here?
I think they're probably both equal.
Okay, no worries. So, they feel pretty equal to me. Okay, so we can always go through and even just show you that, right? But then still work on the chest and everything too, okay? Deep breath in here, all the way out. 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 So when I go through that area here, when I feel that spot right here, that L5, right? Mm-hmm. See if I push in here, like I can get pretty deep and way deeper though. Feel that? Mm-hmm. Okay, so usually what that tells me is that vertebrae is rotated. Okay, so when I adjust that one, I'm actually going to do it with my table that drops up and down. It's a little bit loud. Okay, but I can get in there on that bone and kind of set it back down in place with that rotation. And it's got to be pretty dang specific, right? So table will drop down like that. So we go here. We just get right into that vertebrae here. It's a little bit intense. Okay, so when I do it, we're gonna get right in there. Get our spot right there hooked in. Okay, so the only downside is like it's super intense. So after I hit it back in place, I'm just gonna hold my pressure with my hand and then kind of let you catch your breath again. Okay, deep breath in, all the way out. Let it relax there, just like that. The loud pop was the table, not your back. So, see, there's some clickbait right there for you.
Yep.
So
That's perfect way to start a video.
we broke his back right there. What the? So then right here, so see how if I push here, I can sink in really deep on L4 on the left side, but the right side,
Yeah.
see how it's tighter? So if that reason is you got the L5 going this way and this one going that way. So that you're getting kind of fighting against each other.
Yep.
That's why it doesn't feel very stable in the first place. So then the same thing here. We're gonna go to L4 now, go next to it here. Deep breath in, all the way out. Let it relax there, you can feel that pop. And hold that pressure. And pull it off. Okay. Okay, so now we're gonna go through the rest of the spine here. Deep breath in here, all the way out. Relax, there's no drop here, just straight pressure. Deep breath in here, all the way out. Relax there. Deep breath in here, all the way out. Relax there. Deep breath in here, all the way out. Deep breath in here, all the way out. In here, all the way out. Relax there. Deep breath in here, all the way out.
Good one.
Super good one there. We're gonna hit that first rib up in here. Deep breath in, all the way out. Relax there for a minute. Deep breath in here, all the way out.
Oh.
That was hard to relax on that one. Sorry. So we're going to go through this area here. So we're just going to find, so if I push on the actual spine itself, usually that whatever area is the most aggravated will be tender to the touch, and it'll just be going to the side of whichever vertebrae is the most painful. Okay, so if I start up here, there's this one here. Is that tender?
A little. Let's see.
This one here.
Yep.
Okay, and then below it, there, not as bad.
Not as bad. A little bit tender still.
Okay, so that's our upper one here. We're gonna hit. Okay, so we're just gonna go to the side of it here. Okay, just go to the side of where that spine is. So you're just gonna feel a little initial like poke. Okay, and then we're going to go through that area there. So when people are like, how tight is my back? I'm like, well, the needle doesn't want to go in. It keeps bouncing around. It's super tight, right? And so when we're trying to get in there, so you're telling me that all this time I've spent trying to work on this hasn't been doing it. It's like, pretty much. So so we're down to the bone there now, aren't you? It is pretty dang tight. You feel that?
Yep.
Yeah. Right. Okay, so we're just going to go to the side of this one here. Same level, okay? So here. Okay, perfect. So the cool thing is when I show this to people, right? It's like, hey, if I got one side in further than the other, we already know that there's going to be a rotation in that vertebrae, right? And so because I can't get that right side in compared to that left is way deeper, right? There's a pretty good rotation in that vertebrae, which tells us, hey, we need to keep addressing that, facing it from this angle. Otherwise, you're going to keep having pain in that area. Okay, so
that's the case with mine.
Yeah. So I'll show you too. Like I'll take a picture and show you as well. But we're going to put these other two in here just a little bit lower, and then we will. I'll take a picture and show you so you can see firsthand. Okay, so we're just going to go down here. And then L5. Okay. Which one's more tender, L4 or L5?
Is there one above them or already there?
L3 is above it right here. We basically have the first one in kind of the L1 area there.
Should that one probably?
That one's pretty tender there. Okay. So just going to push right on that vertebrae there. Okay, we're going to go to the side of it here. Start on the right side. Okay, just do your best to relax for me. Okay. Pretty intense.
Starting to feel that one down my leg.
Yeah, I've actually helped people diagnose herniated discs from doing this stuff too. You put electricity through that, and it's like if they had a herniated disc and they're like, is it confirmed or not? We don't want to do an MRI. I've used this to help them diagnose it too. So we're just going to go to the side of it here.
Why do they call it dry needling?
Because wet needling, it sounds so weird to call it wet needling, basically an injection, right? And so because we're not putting anything through these needles because they are solid tipped, right? The best thing they come up with is probably dry, right? And electricity isn't wet, nor has any kind of fluid component to it, basically. Therefore, they still consider just dry needling. But yeah, I basically consider it like a technique where it's like I'm doing dry needling protocols on you, but I don't have electricity in these needles per se, right? So, but no, great question. So this is what it looks like with the needles hooked up to electricity through there. The dry needling of the lumbar spine, and these are down into the spine, and we're targeting the lumbar multifidi muscles that are used for spinal stability. So going through the lumbar vertebrae through here, you can see it's going down all the way to the foot through there. And so when you know you have an issue in the spine, the way we know it's the spine versus anywhere else is the issue has to go down to the leg and all the way down to the foot like you see there. And whatever's comfortable for you, but we're gonna go kind of bottom arm down like that. Just okay. Gonna bring this leg here. Give you your low back stretch of the day. Deep breath in. All the way out. And lay on your other side. It's funny when I adjust big guys, they're like, where's all the pops? I'm like, they're really deep. Okay, they're really deep. So, I don't put fake noise in my videos, sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
So, let's relax here. Deep breath in here. All the way out. Okay, lay your back for me. Yeah, we'll definitely needle the upper glutes next time to loosen up those hips.
Yeah, they're tight, right?
So, oh yeah, just a little bit. Okay, so now we're gonna pull on the legs here. So let's relax here. There we go. There we go. Let's relax here from there. Let's check arms here for you. Let's relax here. There's that tight muscle there. So that's when you want to dig in there, kind of push on whenever it feels tight going down here. And anything into these two fingers here at all, okay? Let's dig into these guys. Just like that. Good. Let's relax here. Here. Let it go. Feel how much tighter this one is though? Mm-hmm. Yep. Here for me. There we go. You waited long enough.
I'm fighting that one.
Oh, seriously. Deep breath in here. All the way out. So first thing you want to do with the chest here is we're going to just kind of follow the pattern of the pec major, and you just want to make sure that we pinch kind of up. Go ahead and angle like this so we're not super deep. Go right through here.
Feel that, was that twitching?
Mm-hmm.
Was that the muscle?
Mm-hmm.
Is it? Are you shocking it?
Nope.
It's
Just
just fighting, yeah.
So one of the things when you're doing dry needling, and you may not have noticed this with your back, is that you'll have a twitch response as you go through the muscle. So a lot of people are like, I had someone argue with me like, you didn't do dry needling right. I'm like, how did I not? They're like, you didn't get a twitch response. I'm like, the patient verified that they subjectively did.
Right.
But in some times like this, it's very evident. You can actually see the muscle twitch, and you're like, where's the electricity? No electricity, right? So then we're going to go a little bit further out, just as it kind of becomes the musculotendinous area here. Kind of pull it to the side here, going like this. Just like that. Okay. First one obviously way more intense, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And we'll do the same thing on this other side here. Very tight tissue.
Yeah.
Yeah, very tight. And I'm like, people are like, should I take that long to put it through? Like, if it's tight, yeah, very much so. Definitely fighting me there. Just relax here. Just like that. So there's your pec major right there. All right, hope you guys enjoyed that video. So just to recap on some of the things that we did and explain why we did certain things. A lot of people will say, you know, why dig through the glutes with your elbows? And typically I'd prefer to dry needle those areas, but we already dry needled so much in this video that I want to show more of a manual focus on those areas. So we dug through and kind of worked on the gluteus medius, maximus, piriformis muscles of that hip area. And the correlation for this is because most people don't realize it, but if they have lower back pain, you have tight glutes. And that's just how it is, right? I've never found someone with a lower back issue and not tight glutes. And if you say, oh, I don't have tight glutes, it's just fine. You haven't had someone push in there truly and know their anatomy to actually show you how tight your glutes are. So that's what we're doing here to start with, kind of work on a few different things there. And then we went through and we dry needled the spine. And so a lot of people will say, did you really get to the spine? We did. We stuck the needles far enough in to hit the bone, to hit the spine itself. And the cool part is, and I think you saw in this video, is when we went down and hit that area, one thing that Heavy D mentioned was that he could feel something go down his leg, right? And then we showed in one of those clips, when we did put electricity on that area, his right leg, which is the side he felt it go down, could actually see movement with electricity going down through there. And so the cool part is when, like I said in that video, is you can see different issues and where they're correlated from based on dry needling. And so it's actually even a diagnostic tool to some degree, but it's not like the best diagnostic tool, but I can use it to help diagnose further issues or resolve further issues based on the neurological connection to different areas and what their issues truly are. So then we went through, we adjusted everything. We adjusted the whole entire body on Heavy D. And then at the very end, we went through and showed the dry needling of the pectoralis major muscles. And the cool part, like you saw in this video and this clip of the video, is that it's a huge muscle. It's such a dominant muscle, and you can see the contraction going through that muscle. And so a lot of people will be told, you know, hey, you have a tight chest, you have a tight chest. You can stretch that thing all day long. Heavy D could stretch his chest all day long, have me stretch it. It's not gonna do it justice. It's such a strong muscle, and especially on a big guy like that, you're not going to do anything by trying to stretch someone physically out like that. You have to get in there and introduce something such as needling, and we've shown in other videos clamping. That's also a very effective tool. But the needling, we went through so many layers of that muscle tissue to then break it up. And we didn't show it on camera, but we did some winding of that needle. It's just such an intense process that it's not something I like to show on camera as much, just so we don't make people embarrassed in any way, or we put them in an awkward position. And so if you want to see a video where we do wind up the needles and tighten them on more people, then please volunteer, and we would love to do that for you. So just to recap on these areas, we did electricity through the chest area there, just to kind of break up as much scar tissue in that area as possible. And this is one of the tools that I use when it comes to scar tissue, is the needling in the area, as long as it's safe. And that's one of the biggest things is whenever you consider someone to do dry needling for you, just know, and one of the things that Heavy D pointed out is he's like, you could puncture the lungs with this, right? And it's like, yes, you very well could, as long as you put the needles in the correct areas. You need to make sure you know your anatomy. You need to make sure that you know where to go and where not to go more specifically, so you don't injure patients, or you don't get injured as a patient coming to get dry needling done from the practitioner who can provide that for you. And so I always educate my patients, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing, this is where I'm doing it, this is why I need to use these length of needles for this area. And so many people may have had bad experiences with dry needling, but we're trying to change that. We're trying to change how people see and view this and make it an enjoyable process, not necessarily enjoyable during the process, but enjoyable because of the results afterwards. And we'll be able to really help patients gain this by our dry needling and by helping people here at SUPRA Chiropractic. So I'm going to leave you how I leave you at every other video. We're at SUPRA Chiropractic. We've got your back and everything else. And please make sure you subscribe to this channel. I love to showcase what I do, and just like you saw in this video, so many people out there need these kind of services. They need this level of chiropractic. They need the things that I have to offer. And so the more people you can share this video with, the more people you can tag in videos in the comment sections, whether it's on either social media, you can tag them to my page and say, go watch this YouTube video. Those people that need this care most, that's who we need to work on. And that's why I do what I do. That's why I love what I do. And even just from our conversations, one of the things that Heavy D's pointed out is he said, can you work on this? Can you work on this? Can you work on this? And the answer is yes, I can do this, 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 and this for those issues, for those people that you know. And so in the end, if there's something I don't know the answer to, I will find the answer to. If it's not something I work on, I will refer you out for those things. And ultimately, the goal is let's help you get answers. Let's help you get resolution to whatever it is that you need. And that's why I do what I do. That's why I love what I do as a chiropractor, and why I'm trying to also kind of level up as far as what it means to be a chiropractor nowadays, because so many people don't. And so hopefully we make that very evident for you in these videos, and I love making these videos for you and showing what I do and really who it changes lives for. And so I'm going to leave you with that, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. See ya.